David, thank you so much for speaking with us. What is your reaction to the Métis National Council taking you and former MNC President Clem Chartier to court? This court case has been in the works for a number of years now.
Well, in fact, it's a political attempt to damage my reputation, of course, the Manitoba Métis Federation's reputation, and Clem Chartier's reputation. So, it clearly was and has been designed. They call it, it's a scheme, they call it the scorched earth policy, that my goal was to destroy the Métis National Council, which I fought vigorously for, everybody knows in this country, and supported and brought so much resources, financial resources, to both MNC and to all of us across the homeland. But now they call it a scheme that I was trying to destroy them, to make the MMF stronger or bigger than them, which MMF has always been the biggest government. By far, MNC has been a little small entity of a government versus the MMF. So, but they made up some scheme, and now they're trying to put the picture together to make it look like I did all these bad things versus all the great things I did on behalf of the Métis in this country. So it's sad. I'm very saddened by it, because it's going to cost us millions of dollars on either side. To date, they've already paid us $270,000 legal fees. So imagine that. They paid us that amount. Their fees are the same or more. So they spent at least over $700,000 to date on legal fees on this case alone, maybe even more. And the potential of this 9-week trial can cost $2 million to each of us. So it is crazy. It's frivolous. It's designed to really do the damage of hurting my reputation and the things I had to do when I was the leader.
David, you talked about it a little bit there, but this story was first mentioned by the CBC earlier this week. And in that article, they say the MNC is accusing you of conspiring a scorched earth campaign to seriously harm the MNC and empower the MMF. The MNS also accuses you of improperly funneling key assets from the national organization to the MMF. What do you say to those allegations?
Well, it's not the MNC. The MNC actually makes these claims. For example, a database. The database, I'm not an IT guy whatsoever, but I know I am knowledgeable about important documents. Now, the MNC database is actually for everyone. It's free. And we took support on it as the Federation side, because the MNC had no money to pay for it. We already spent a lot of money on it. To store the history of the registry, not the registry, basically the identity of Métis citizens and their history. But the entity was always to be free. And so MMF actually paid $157,000 to keep the program going. And so we took it over because we had the IT system, and we were really prepared, given the structure and the size of the Federation. But it is never to make money. Actually, we give it back to MNC. They have it. Anybody can have it. You can tap into it right now at APTN. It's free. So that was the intent of the entity. But now they're trying to make it look like I took something very valuable and trying to steal it, which is absolutely absurd. I'll give another example, the veterans file. I worked on that for over 2 decades, maybe 25 years or more. I got the settlement. Then they said I took $20 million and put it in MMF. But when you look at their audit, it's in their audit. It was never mine at the MMF. So they're trying to change their story now because they made that up. And so when you start making up stuff, you get caught. So unfortunately, the situation that we see ourselves right now is that this vendetta, this attempt to political assassination is I think right now they're calling it a political civil war is what their lawyers calling it. And we will prove to them and prove to everyone, as we did already 2 times, we won twice already, that this is absolutely absurd. But what's more important, what needs to be questioned, we're taking our money from our profits to pay for this case because we can't use government funding. Where are they getting their money from? And the most bigger question right now that's at stake in the minds of everybody in the homeland and everybody in Canada really at the end of the day, how can they continue to function? There's only 2 of them left, Alberta and Ontario. That's the same, and that's the 2 that's pushing this case. So they're running without following the Board of Governors. They claim to follow the Board of Governors bylaws. They're not following it. They need 2 founding members. They don't have 2 founding members.
Well, David Chartrand, will have to leave it there, and we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us about this.
Thank you very much for having me.